Okay, in round 2, I played somebody who was high 2100s, 2170 maybe. I don't know. I don't remember. His name's Kevin Zhao. He's, little kid. I think he's 11 because he was listed in U.S. chess as one of the top 11-year-olds, like number 5 or something. So he was one of my oldest opponents. Okay, so we played 100 moves of theory, and at the end of theory, the engine says, I'm almost lost. So, truth hurts. This is a line that I play a lot, and I have good results in tournaments. The engine doesn't like it. So this is a rouser. And I used to play bishop e7 in castles, and I had good results with that. And then for no reason, I started playing a6 and h6, which is probably worse. Okay, and he played what's been the main line for about 15 years, knight takes and bishop f4. I've had this on stream a lot. Usually I'm getting crushed and I, win on time or something. Okay, and usually they play h4 here. He played bishop e2, which is fine. Also played. And the strong grandmasters castle, and usually they get checkmated. I saw a lot of those games in my life studying the opening, and I was like, I'm not going to castle and get checkmated. That's what they all do. So I played knight d7, which is what I play. And the idea is to play e5 and d4. And in this position, irrespective of that, the engine says he should play h4. Well, I'm curious what's happening after e5. Is he sacking a piece? Bishop takes e5, knight takes e5, e takes d5, and basically white's winning. Okay, yeah, if I move my knight, he plays d6. So h4 is the best move. He played queen g3, and now I made my first mistake, although you could argue, probably correctly, that this line is not good for black, and so the whole line's a mistake. But this is what I play. Truth hurts. Okay, so bishop g5 is the correct move, and the engine says white's advantage is minimal. Black has a big center, so that's good. Okay, so I played king f8, which is what I always play in this variation. I've had this position before, and engine says white is big plus, hates black's position. But I have good results. This game, although I didn't lose, it's not a good advertisement for this line because I was basically almost lost or lost the whole game. So truth hurts. Okay, he played h4, which is good. And I played the move that I always play in this position, which engine doesn't like. Probably I should play h5. I was too worried to play that. So I played bishop b7. A lot of people are challenging me. Okay. He played king b1, always play king b1. Now I should definitely play h5. I played bishop f6. He played bishop check. And then e5. And the engine doesn't like him playing bishop d6 and e5 and says he's only better here. He's not much better. And here I should definitely play h5. I've played h5 in similar positions and similar pawn structures. So I'm not sure why I didn't. I played c5. I thought was the most logical move and best move, but Engine says no. He played h5. Engine also doesn't like. And here I miscalculated because I'm dumb. I should improve my position by playing bishop c6 or knight b6 or rook b8. But I overlooked something, so I played d4. And after knight a4, I was all set to play bishop c6. And then I realized if I play bishop c6, he plays bishop f3. I didn't see bishop f3 when I played d4. And now I'm like, oh, bishop f3. So bishop c6 is just stupid. I can't. I mean, I could just make a move that helps my position. So I made the best move, rook b8. Played bishop f3 anyway, which is a good move. Now, the engine says what I did is correct, and it says white's +1. We get this position. Obviously, if I could cheat and take my rook and put it on b8, probably black's better. But since my rook is stuck on h8, black is much worse. Played rook h3, which is the engine move. And now I went a little crazy because I didn't see any long-term prospects with my rook trapped on h8. And king h7, with the idea of doubling rooks, he just checks me on e4, d3, and I have to go back. So I played a move that I wouldn't recommend you do at home. g6. So opening up my king more, but now I can play king g7, rook b8, and just hope not to get crushed on the king side. Now, strangely, in this position, the engine says the best move is queen a3, totally away from my king, and that puts pressure on the c-pawn, and more importantly, it threatens rook takes d4 because my c-pawn is pinned. Queen a3 gives white a big advantage. He played rook g3. I couldn't decide whether king g7 or king h7 was better. I think the engine likes king g7, which was my original intention. Then I changed my mind. I played king h7. So I'm getting ready to play rook here now, and my rook's not trapped. Played queen e4, which the engine doesn't like. It says that gives away some of his advantage. Played rook g8, which is correct. Played c3, and the engine says that's a terrible move. And the best move is to take, and the engine says it's equal. I played queen h4, which is also reasonable. And he took with check, which is correct. And in this position, he surprised me. I was worried about like rook d3. Engine says queen f3 is the best move, and that white's up 0.2. But he played rook h3, which is fine. I played queen f2, threatening mate. I was the first one to threaten mate. And engine says that if trading queens is equal. And actually, I saw pretty far ahead here. Queen takes f4 is actually a mistake. So it's good I didn't play that. Because if he doubles rooks on the h file, I can't play h5 because he takes it, because my g-pawn's pinned. So after queen takes f4, the engine says he's +1. This ending is a draw. The reason it's a draw is I play the move g5. And actually, when I traded queens, I saw like the next 7 moves, because they're sort of forced. So obviously, if I take this, I'm fine. My rook is good and I'm not down any material. So he played here. I defended my pawn. Then he relieves my defense. And in this position, I'm down a pawn, but I'm threatening g2 and e5. So I thought he would play what he did. The engine just says this is all zeros. And he played this pretty quickly. And then he played rook h5. And now I can't win either pawn. But I realized this was no problem. I go into the pawn down ending with a much better king. I take and play king e4. In this position, I mistakenly thought I was better. His rook is tied down to his pawn. If he lets me take the pawn, then potentially I have two passed center pawns. If he does nothing, I'll play rook b8, rook g8, or rook f8, and I have a passed d pawn, and so forth. Okay, he played b3. I played rook b8. I thought I was better. And then he played rook h4 check and offered me a draw. And I thought, I can try king e3 or king takes e5. And then when I looked at them, I realized I don't have any advantage. And I could be worse. The engine actually says both of these moves draw. So if I take, he trades on d4 and plays king d3. And the problem is I can't let him take this. It's actually more accurate to check me first and then take it. If I play rook d8, that doesn't save my pawn. He checks and then takes my d pawn, and now he's playing for a win. And my rook is ridiculous on b4, but the engine says this is a draw. But I mean, like, I'm just tied down to this pawn. Seems like I don't have anything I can do. I don't have any long-term plan. The other way to play, which I thought was good, was king e3. Engine says rook h1 is also equal, which I didn't look at. I just looked at rook h3 check. Obviously, if I go back, that's just a draw. So I have to go up. And then he plays rook d3. And I'm down a pawn. The engine still says it's a draw, but it says there's only one move that draws. Otherwise, white's winning. And that move is rook c8. That way he can't take my pawn because I take with check. I mean, I'm not playing for a win here. I'm playing for a draw. So I'm down a pawn. I don't have anything I can do. So after rook h4 check, I thought I was slightly worse no matter what I did, and I could be losing, so I agreed to the draw. But the engine says it's a draw. It says I just have to defend, and it's okay. But yeah, I was expecting that I have good winning chances here. After rook b8, I underestimated rook h4 check. I thought he has to stay on his pawn, and I'm gonna do stuff and such. But I didn't get to do stuff and such. So the whole game, I was never better, and I was losing or much worse most of the game. So, again, not a good advertisement for the opening. I got to play better openings. Why didn't he take the pawn with pawn to open the G file? Take with pawn to open the G file. Do you mean me taking the pawn? Because then he plays rook takes h6 check. My king blocks my rook. That says white's winning there. I'm not sure what else you mean. Nothing else happens with a G pawn. When the queen was on G3, well, that was a long time ago. Engine says G takes F3 is terrible. Then it says black is slightly better. Yeah, then he can't move his queen to the queen side, so I just play king H7. And if he plays rook g1, I play rook g8. My king's safe enough. Yeah, that really ruins his pawn structure. The engine says after takes, black is slightly better. And after queen takes, white is +1. Yeah, neither one of us consider g takes very much because it's so bad for the pawn structure. Anyway, this is the final position. 200 bits from somebody